I'd like to share with you how I connected my two passions. One of my passions is classical music, the other passion is finance. And life has a lot of complexities, but I try to summarize my career journey into 3 steps. Step 1 is to connect with your passion. Step 2 is to hone your skill set. And the last step is to dream goals that are so scary that it almost seemed impossible. As far as I can remember, I've always loved the Disney movie Fantasia. The vibrant colors paired with the beautiful orchestra music, I was captivated at a very young age. And on the finance side, I've always loved numbers. And then to me, finance is it's kind of like an elegant blend of numbers with business management. Passion will be your underlying driving force to excel at your craft. I started learning piano quite late at the age of 13. However, I practiced a lot, 5 hours a day, and was able to catch up to my peers and compete with them quite quickly. At the same time, I also aim high in all my mathematical courses and was are top of my class. I also want to say that it's okay if you don't know what your dream job is, as long as you're working hard and be disciplined and aim to be the best, and don't let anyone discourage you. Sometimes your dream job can just materialize on its own, so just keep dreaming. I also want to say that the connection between you and your passion will influence other aspects of your life. A few periods of my life, I had to stop playing music because of my other commitments. However, I always find ways back into music whenever I can. And I did notice that whenever I go back to taking piano lessons and playing in an orchestra, my grades are always higher. As you practice a skill set, you will realize that there are ways to validate your knowledge, either through accreditation or through a particular job. When you're setting these goals, aim high and try to be the best. So for me, for my passion, the 2 goals I set for myself is to, 1, become an investment banker, and 2, to finish my Royal Conservative Music accreditations. So you can imagine how busy I was during my time at UBC. I embraced the challenge, but every day at Sauder, whenever I had a break, I got to sneak into the music building just to get a few hours of practice on the piano. It was really stressful. However, whenever I look back to my student times, it's one of my happiest times. When setting your goals, be brave and be naive. Don't be the first person to cast doubts on what you want. Set an impossible and just figure out how to solve it afterwards. The world is big with lots of possibility. There's always a way. There'll be many people to tell you that you cannot and you're not capable. Be smart, but don't always listen to what they're saying. I was told by many industry experts in Vancouver that I don't have what it takes to be an investment banker. Luckily, I can see past the job market in Vancouver and realize there's a bigger market in the East Coast. So as a student, I decided to cast my net wider and I recruited in Vancouver, Toronto, and also New York City. The story I like to tell people that I did not get a single round of interviews in Vancouver. However, at the end of recruiting season, because I was networking in the East Coast, I landed a job as an investment banker in New York City, covering the exciting industry of consumer retail with a focus on fashion. In 2015 was the year that I was able to bridge my 2 worlds of classical music and finance together. That was the year I volunteered at the New York talent agency for concert production in Vancouver, and I advised them to book the beautiful hall Chan Center. At that time, it was a side project that I took on while working as a full-time as an investment banker. And when I joined the concert production team, my expectation was that I would just come in as a volunteer with doing a few admin tasks. But because of my experience as an investment banker and experience in business, my role quickly expanded to a lot of the responsibility. And I didn't know it then, but eventually for that production, I was actually the production lead. So after that, I spent 5 years working full-time in the business role as an investment banker and consultant, while working part-time in the music talent agency. It is not until 2017 that I decided to scale down on my business side and go full-time on the classical music production. Nowadays, I split my years into 4 quarters for traveling, and 1 quarter I'll be at home in New York City, 1 quarter in Taiwan, 1 quarter in Hungary. The last quarter I'm usually on the road in whichever concert we're producing in Jordan, and usually per year I would travel around and work in around 12 countries, which is really exciting. So remember, connect with your passion, hone your skill set, and be naive and dream the impossible. I remember that the world is big. There's always a way to achieve what you want. And I kind of touched on all these points when I decided to start my own talent agency in Taiwan in 2018. That's the year that I want to connect my home country with the Western classical music culture. I am Taiwanese, so I want the community there to have more exposure to classical music. And by the time I started my talent agency, I've already had 5 years of experience producing international tours, so I was not afraid of what I'm about to do there. And also when I was there, despite Taiwan being a brand new market for our agency, I wanted to produce a concert in the Tainan Cultural Center. It was a hall where I grew up next to and listening to, so I wanted to be there, even though nobody wanted me to produce there. Not my New York talent agency, not my musician, not even my family in Taiwan wants me to produce in that hall. But it took a lot of pitching and convincing on my part. I did make it happen. Not only did I actually make profit on the very first year of production in Taiwan, and every year I've been not only adding on new concert venue, but I've been doubling profit ever since then. As well as I can visibly see the social impact I brought into the Tainan community. Many of the concert attendees are young students who had never been to a classical concert before. Some of them have since then been connected to their new passion and started taking piano lessons. And they've also competed in an international piano competition that I've also started a couple years ago. But that's another story altogether. So to summarize again, connect with your passion, hone your skill set, be naive and dream the impossible. And remember that the world is big, there's always a way to achieve what you want. And you never know where you will end up. So thank you for your time and keep dreaming.